in the Room podcast to recap his latest win for CES back on April 1st at CES 67 is Harris Bonfiglio. What's up, my man?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Exactly, a little over 3 weeks, man, since you were in that cage, man. How you feeling about the performance now you get to look back at it?
I feel good. Oh, I wish I got it done in the first. Like was going a little disappointed in myself that. But besides that, I mean, who could complain with a performance like that? You know what I mean?
Well, it didn't take you long into the second round. What, 45 seconds or so? Could have been less, man. What was the adjustment that that you made from the first and second round to get that done quick?
Well, I noticed how I ended the first round. I had him in an armbar, and I knew I had sunk it good, and I knew he wasn't getting away, and he was kind of by the bell the last second. I was like, all right, well, if I'm able to get back in a similar situation, I know my submission grappling is, it just felt technically on the ground like I was definitely one step ahead of him, if not two. So I was just like, all right, let's just take it back to the ground as soon as possible, and I'll just finish it.
Well, my man, it was a great finish, a great transition there. As we spoke about after, after the fight, we had a little talk in the back, man. Dude, as far as that, your fourth submission in there, man, bro. Jiu-jitsu is working for you, definitely in there. But in the past, your hands have set a lot of that jiu-jitsu submission game in. Dude, as far as this fight, where does this take you now as far as your fourth win, your fourth finish, your 4-1? The dude, your only loss is against Lugo, who's fighting tonight. How you feeling about your record overall and your performances?
Well, first I want to give Lugo a shout out. I hope he wins tonight. I like rooting for the guy. He's a very nice man. He's got a bright future ahead of him, and I'm sure we'll cross again one day. But he's a really nice guy. Um, Really, the future is, I'm shooting for the UFC or Bellator, whichever promotion. I mean, everybody wants to get to the UFC, so I'd pick one over the other. But, I'm hoping to fight this upcoming June at possibly CES or Reality Fighting, one of those cards. I know we're talking right now about opponents and stuff like that. So, but nothing set in stone yet. And then hopefully after that, sometime in the fall, I'm just looking to keep it going. 2-year layoff because of COVID didn't really do me
Yeah.
any good. But I'm just trying to stay as active as possible and keep it.
So as far as that, maybe the CES June card, is that the one in what is it, South Dakota, North Dakota that they're traveling for? Is that the card?
No, I think it's Island.
Oh, okay. So I know they're traveling, so it must be back here. So as far as that fight, I mean, I know we spoke and you talked about um, taking on the best you can, and you mentioned a few names. Are there some names out there, or is it just you put your name out there to be on that card when they start matchmaking?
I told him get me somebody in the top 5, top 10, something. Because I'd like to move up even higher in the rankings. So they're in talks with some opponents right now. They're still looking, nothing set in stone, but I'm sure my coach will get back to me soon with some potential opponents.
Well, you look on Tapology, you're ranked number 7 as far as bantamweights on Tapology, as far as New England. A lot of those fighters
I
are.
just found that out yesterday.
Oh, is that right? Well, there you go, man. That's a big.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. Oh wow,
Well, I mean, that's a big to do, and your performances are really showing it, man. 4 finishes, 4-1 as a pro. But dude, some of the fighters on that, in that ranking are, it's a little here and there. I mean, as far as them, what is there any that interest you? We have our own rankings in New England MMA. There's a couple of fighters on there that I'd like to mention, but is there anyone on when you looked? I mean, I'm sure you looked at who was ahead of you. Is there anyone on that list that interests you as far as in the New England region, to maybe go against?
um, I mean, it's just really whoever. I don't really care whoever I fight. I As long as they're ahead of me, and it's almost like you keep what you kill type quality. So if they're ranked above me, I would like the pleasure of being able to test myself against you, and be able to hopefully move myself up the rankings even further. And then, I'll probably get, to maybe, I don't know, a few wins, maybe, I'll be in talks with the UFC or Bellator or something, some big promotion. If I, especially if I keep getting finishes like I am.
Yeah, well, dude, just to bring us to our own New England rankings, which I think are more legit than the Tapology. I think because we had promotions around New England vote on them. When I speak to you, I don't know why you weren't on these rankings. Bantamweight, I am ashamed. You should be on them. But there's a couple of names on here that, the dude's got a couple of these guys got a couple of recent wins. I mean, Johnny Campbell, biggest bantamweight name in New England. We got Joe Pennyfield that I think he will be fighting for Cage Titans next month or June, I do believe. Ashika Jim, who didn't get the fight for the title because he got injured, and Jay Perrin was signed to the UFC. So that title there, you got John Duma. You got four really big names right there in New England. That's special for a New England fight, but these are also names that could loft you up if you had a matchup on them. Um, have you ever thought of any of these fighters while you were coming up in your pro fights that you think you might or future cross paths with these guys?
To be honest, at one point it was kind of surreal that I don't think I would have ever been in talks with them, especially 2 years ago, coming off loss with Lugo, and then the pandemic hit, and 2 years I was like, all right, you know, I just turned 30, like let's see how this is gonna play out, and I'm moving up pretty. I guess all my hard work. I never trained over the pandemic. I trained ass off during the pandemic. I did not stop. I got more into the technical ability rather than just trying to brute force everything. And I really tried to study and strengthen my mind. So you really couldn't much training with bodies then, but training a person, I was just constantly trying to learn more combinations, more setups, timing, uh, details with submissions, little micro details that make a huge difference when it comes to rolling with somebody, or when you're in a live combat situation, how to actually pull it off.
Well, as far as speaking to fighters, coming out of COVID, so many elevated their game, got a chance to rest the bodies, even though inactive as far as getting them records there and, getting, to the goal of the UFC. You guys were getting better, guys and women behind the scenes, man. As far as, getting better and as far as, your next fight, what are you working on now? I mean, everything, of course, but you're 3 weeks out from this fight. Did you come out, unscathed? Have you been back at the gym full throttle in case something comes your way in the next, like you said, in June?
Yeah, I think I took 5 days off just to let my body heal. I think it gets more beat up during the training camps as the fight, which is, I'd rather keep it that way. Because I hate to go out there and get beaten up on, and even might win whichever way it goes. I don't I don't want to be in those type of wars, but if it happens, I'm ready. Yeah, I just kind of give myself a few days off to relax, focus on my personal life like that. Actually have a life for once, because all I do is work and I eat, sleep this stuff. So, I'm up till 2 a.m., 4 a.m. sometimes just watching videos on techniques. And then I got to go to work 7. So,
There you go,
and then
man.
I train all night. So it's like 0 to 8, but, I make
Excellent. Well, my man, you spoke about the sports psychology part that helped you in this game. A lot of fighters out there in the last couple of years. I mean, they were probably adding this before they really went mainstream with it, and ranting and raving about the positives coming out of it. But I've seen a lot of New England fighters getting that help. to help them, not only get to the cage, to the event, but afterwards to keep it all, all in check. How important is that to you now as your pro career progresses and you're getting better fights, better opportunities, and more people coming at you? You know what I mean?
I would say it's 90% of the game when it comes to fighting. It really is. It is a mental game. Sometimes the best fighters always win. They really don't. Sometimes, they go out there stage fright, they don't perform as well. But in the gym, they're just monsters, and they would probably roll through everybody fought, and maybe even the guys that they lost in the fights, and maul them in the gym. And you look at it on paper, you're like, well, this add up, and that's something I've learned, and that's why after my loss, I really took the time to really focus on that because like I was saying, like even in my amateur career, and then the first three fights pro career is beyond nervous. I was freaking out. But now it's like talking to you. It's like, oh, okay, I gotta go get punch this guy.
Yeah. Now, as far as
Yeah.
as far as that, do you bring that into your, to your training partners? I mean, as far as you must feed off on them as far as your positivity now and the way you look at things. I mean, you're a veteran to the game, even though 4-1 pro here. You've been at it for a while as an amateur. You got some young people coming up in that gym. Does that help them, or does it help you an all around like dialogue with these other fighters?
Yeah, no, I take a lot of guys when you see me somebody in class. I mean, you'll never see me just sitting there just focus on myself. I always think the best is to teach, to try to help somebody with something because it makes you think. It's one thing to do it. There's another thing trying to explain it and teach it to somebody. It brings it down to such more fine detail trying to teach somebody. And I think that really helps me with really understanding the techniques and being confident in what I'm doing.
Well, speaking to a lot of professional fighters that have gone onto the coaching side, and they're adding that to their future when their pro careers are over. Is that something you aspire to do? Is that something that you think you can do? Is be a coach full time someday and just keep pass off your knowledge and all your memories to the next generation?
Oh yeah, I'll never stop doing this. I'll do this to the day I die. Absolutely. I've been doing it since I was, oh God, 5, 6 years. They started martial arts, and I haven't stopped, and here I am. So, like I'm not going to stop. I don't care if I'm 80 years old. I'll still be coaching some, doing something.
Now, I know you mentioned your dad got you into, the karate, taekwondo, and all that stuff going on. Is it on Facebook that I'm seeing? Is your family part of a baseball or something going on in that side of your family, or is that someone else?
That's my cousin.
Oh, all
That's my
right,
cousin. He plays baseball.
all
Yeah.
right. Because I see it all over, like all over Facebook. I'm like, is that Harris? Is it like, does he got a? So, all right, that's awesome. So there's a bunch of shit going on in
Yeah.
in the family there.
Yeah. Yeah. Where we like the play sports in the family.
Excellent, my man. Well, a couple of more questions, man. After we spoke, after your great win back in April 1st, you talked about Italian food and, loving that food and stuff. How's that? I mean, you said you took like 5 or 6 days off to enjoy yourself, man. Did you have a lot of that and enjoy yourself that way? Or is that, uh,
Yeah,
what's
I
good?
had a pizza. That was about. I'm trying to eat strict and trying to lean out for this next fight and the next couple fights because I'm hoping either if I'm able to keep these wins going, whether it's CS title or UFC Tender Series, whatever it is, for I want to make sure I'm always in great shape and when I call, I can make the walk real quick.
Well, my man, one more question before I let you give your shout outs and all that other stuff. Man, Jonel Lugo tonight, bro. What are you thinking as far as this? Man, great opportunity for him and that Danny Pest guy. Dude, what are you thinking about this fight, man? It's been a lot of banter between them, a lot of disrespect toward Jonel, man. as far as what you see on paper and what you've seen in the fight and, on film and just live as far as these two guys, what are you thinking about this matchup?
Well, I know Janelle's opponent, he's a pretty good wrestler, but he doesn't really finish fights. Finishes, I think the last one was decision, but before that, I mean, he finished. I choked him out. So, I think it comes down to that because they're pretty even match skill wise, but I would give the stand up definitely to Janelle. He would pretty much light him up on the feet. Grappling wise, I would say if it goes to the ground, it'll probably be a little bit in his favor, his opponent. But I think it comes down to when they're right in front of each other that moment, because everybody can talk shit. Anybody can talk shit. But when it comes down to performing, after talking all that shit and you're face to face and you get punched in the face, let's keep that game plan. Let's see that same energy when you get hit in the face. And, see if you're able to pull it off then.
I say Janelle in two. I think he's gonna light him up. Danny's
I think
a mad
I would say TKO either round 2 or 3.
a mad wrestler, and that's all he does. I mean, I've seen no striking game out of him. It's been mostly wrestling, and a lot of it is just holding you down and trying to
Yeah.
win with that control. I mean, we've seen Jornell go against some really, really high talent, and now it's. I just think it's his time, man. He's everything's working for the kid. He's a good dude, and man, I would love to see him really take advantage of his opportunity, man. And dude, just think if he wins in highlight fashion, man, your loss to him is getting more diluted and diluted. every
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
every
Yeah. It kind of helped me in a way. And, I in the piggyback to him, but I guess it's part of the fight game. But, he's a good guy. And, I'll be able to one day test my skills against him again. And nothing I had, feelings or anything, just because the kid's so talented. I love to be. I mean, he's one of the best. I think he's one of the top 10 in the world. Absolutely, without a doubt, top 10, 100%. Probably top 5 after this.
excellent, my man. Well,
If he knocks him out cold and brutalize, definitely in the top 10. I mean,
excellent.
top 5.
Well, dude,
But I would like, be able to test my skills. The other guys in the UFC. I mean, the bantamweight stacked. So, I'm always picturing myself in my mind, like, if I had a fight on, or Aljamain Sterling, or TJ Dillashaw, or Dominic Cruz, or one of those guys. Like, I'm always picturing that, like, in my head. Like, how would I do, in that type of certain matchup? And certain ones kind of like favor my style, and other ones I'm like, shit, that's a hard fight.
well,
but but those are the type of mind games you play.
hey, dude, man, you gotta get by one to get to the other, bro. So, hopefully, if you
Yeah.
get them opportunities, they give you the right matchups so you can build to get to that next guy, man. But you're doing it all right, bro. You're really producing in there. 4 finishes in your 4-1 record, bro. Almost all first round finishes, except for that little hiccup when you went 45 seconds into the second round. But we'll let
Yeah.
that
Hey,
go, man.
what? Give him props. He was the only guy so far to get out of round 1.
Hey,
So I give him a ton of respect. He's a nice guy. I almost felt bad when I was hitting him. I'm like,
all
I
right,
really
man.
don't want to hit this guy. He's so nice. Right?
Hey, dude, get over that and just smash these men. Smash these men.
Yeah.
Hey, so with that, bro, anything you want to say before I let you go? Because we'll be waiting for some fight news, in the next month or so, as far as your next opportunity. Let it go. Social media, we'll be following you around, watching you get ready for whatever comes your way.
Yeah. All my social media is Bonfiglio. Somehow I snagged it when it first started, so I snagged them all. I like all my sponsors, my team. Uh, they really they put in work because I don't stop. I'm an energizer bunny. Just keep going and going. I'll do 9 to 12 rounds a night and no breaks. Just keep going. So those guys take a beating from me. So they give it back to me too. Without the team, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Them helping and encouraging me and giving me faith in my abilities and making me believe that I'm what I am. And um, I want to thank my coach too, Andrew. I mean, without I wouldn't be where I am right now. So I'm demonstrating there is everything he taught me. So his grappling skills, even his is just it's top level. I'm with the best. And, so I thank him, and then my family supporting me all these years. We're gonna keep it going. The Harris Express is gonna keep going all the way to the top, and I'll be in the UFC one day or Bellator, and I will fight for the title. I'm gonna do my absolute best to do that.
Excellent, my man. Well, glad to hear it, bro. One of those promotions is right around the corner. Definitely by the end of 2022, you'll be hitting one of those, man. So all the power to you, bro. We'll definitely be watching you on social media. I'll be, keeping my eye out for whenever something comes up, and I'll be hitting you up right away as soon as I hear something.
Yeah, I'll always give you an interview. I don't care if I'm in the UFC and I'm a champ. I'll always interview. I always respect people that help me get up to, to the higher level.
Thanks, my man. I appreciate it, bro. And yeah, man, you have a great night. Bellator's on right now, and we're gonna watch Janelle Lugo do
Yeah, I
some.
want
All
to go watch Leo.
right, my man, Harris. We'll talk later, man, and have a great night. And thanks for the time.
You too. Have a good